now the reason why I ask you to like kind of break down like what specific goals that you want for the type of partner you're looking for, because this is one thing I do realize when it comes to a lot of women. Have you guys ever heard of hypergamy? Have you guys heard of that? Oh, Natasha knows, right? Have you heard of it, Lote?
No.
Have you heard of
You're
it?
gonna educate me.
Have you heard of that, Soli?
Mm.
Yeah. So for based on like for women on their nature, you guys are only willing to date guys within the same economic or social status or higher. So whatever your goals are, when it comes to the social economic status of what you want out of your life, your own women, for most, I'm not saying all, but for most women, you guys prefer to date a guy that's in the same level or higher. You want a guy that you can grow with, or you can look up to, that's that's the type of man that women not only fall in love but attracted to, because you want a guy that you can look up to. You know, no woman wants a guy that is a bum doing nothing with his life. So what
I think well, I'm the opposite of that. I always end up finding the guys that were bums.
Well, you find it, but it doesn't work out long term. Like in order for something to work out long term for you, you have to be with a guy that's in the same level as you, that's higher, that he can challenge you for you to grow. And the reason why I say that is a lot of women don't understand that about themselves, because what happens is the higher you go, the higher the goals are when it comes to socioeconomic status. That means that it's only a small echelon of men that you're looking for. And all the men that's below you, they become undateable to you because of your expectations of what you want. So that's why it is a struggle for a lot of modern women. I do say like the more goals they want. Because I talk to a lot of them. I want goals. I want this. I want this. I want this. But when it comes to the average guy just working at McDonald's or working construction, they don't want to date with those guys because it doesn't match their level. And like I said, but that's their preference. But just understand that if that's what you want, it is gonna be more difficult to find a partner, because you're looking for a specific type of man that it's only a small amount of them available in the dating market. Natasha, go ahead.
So a couple things. I think that in terms of hypergamy, I think that I think that it's something that men are equally guilty of too. However, I don't think that this sounds like really off because of the definition of hypergamy, but like in being someone who is hypergamy, I'm not saying I am, but this is just an example. Like if you want better for yourself, like I don't think that that's a bad thing. However, if it's because hypergamy pertains solely to economic and social status, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in that regard, I feel like that's like a glorified gold digger, and I feel like that's not something that. Because I'm not going to disagree with the statistic, because I do feel like, especially in this day and age, that's kind of what it's about, right? That we're not chasing morals, we're not chasing character. Everyone's, these younger generations are chasing status. And that's why for me too, like I pride myself in like being old school. Like, girl, I can't be like, I literally like, I feel like I've taken this like big sister, like you just sharing like you're being a virgin and like what you've been through, like that is a beautiful thing. And I really hope that like you're so proud of that, because that's very special. And I think even more so for me being someone that is like heavy in my faith, like you are who you are supposed to be, like who God says women are supposed to be when they encounter their significant other. Like you get to bring that to the table, and that is the dopest thing ever. Like that's bigger than any fucking bankroll. I mean, anything. That's amazing. So please be proud of that. Like embrace that, because that's a rarity. But in terms of like choosing someone based on like, so I think that that's very overrated, because I feel like in this day and age, I mean, you have people that flash their like clothes collection on Instagram and they're influencers and they're making money off of that. But like at the end of the day, who they are off the camera, like they're not the same person. So I don't know. Well, I'm not really.
So you don't agree with hypergamy?
No, and I'm not saying I don't agree with it. I'm saying that that's not something that I identify with, because for me, like social ranking, and because this is how I look at it, money, it don't go with you when you die. Money can come and go. You can choose what you bring in and what you put out. You know what I'm saying? Your social status is the same. If you're trying to be an influencer, or you're trying to like up your likes, or whatever, like I'm not that's cool. That's like your thing. But like, I'm not going to look at someone and be like, oh, snap, you got 100,000 followers. Like, what's up? Like, no, like I want to, because and for me, I'm very old fashioned. Like if I don't know your favorite color, what kind of candy you like, what your ice cream is, the things you like when you're sick, I don't care. I don't care about the glitz and the glamour, because money it's of the world, as is a social ranking. So for me, although I do acknowledge that hypergamy is practice and it is a real thing in this world.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to limit that or like to direct that just at women, because you also have, and no shade to y'all who like, you have men that pursue women that are like, you know, that are up there too. And I think that that's another thing for me where it's like, I'm such a person of like equal, like, you know, if I do it, like we both do it, you know, like I'm not someone where I'm like, oh, you know, men do this more than women, or like women do this more than men. Like, nah, we all mess up. We all make mistakes. We all tell lies. We all cheat. I mean, not everybody, but you know, I'm saying, you know, men and women, like we're both genders are not perfect, is my point, you know, and it's like how you talk about, you know, like independent women and like whatever, like, yes, do I think that there is an error where it's like, oh, I don't need this. I mean, I don't think that you need a partner. This song gets sticky. People gonna come for me for this. I don't think you necessarily need a significant other to be successful, to feel whole or be completed in life. Does God say that that is how, like, what you're supposed to have in life? Yeah, sure, he does. But for me personally, like with all the things that I've been through in my life and how hard I've had to work to be who I am today, I'm not going to sell myself short for nobody. And I'm also not going to not entertain someone because they're not matching my bankroll. Like, let's be 100. Like, I'm a small business owner. Am I swimming in it? No, I'm not. But I literally, every day of my life that I get to do and pursue my passion and my craft, I'm happy. So if I have, you know, if I encounter someone or meet someone that is chasing, you know, their passion or their craft and they're not giving up, then I'm with that, you know. But if it's someone that I'm with and they get complacent or like they, you know, grow stagnant, like, is that alarming to me? Yes. But that's where I feel like it is the responsibility of your counterpart to step in and relight that fire, or make it okay for them to close the chapter to pursue something new. Like, a relationship is supposed to be about edifying each other and building each other up, not the one person bearing the load, whether it is the man or the woman or, you know, whatever. Like, if the energy levels aren't matched and the growing stops for one, then a conversation needs to be had, you know, where it's like, okay, well, if I don't inspire you and motivate you to continue to pursue your better self, because right, it's called your better half for a reason, you know, then there's something that needs to change here. And that's a conversation that a lot of people don't want to have, because if you've been together for 10, 20 years and you don't feel like this person pushes you, you don't want to have the conversation because you don't know what it's like to live without them. But really, at the end of the day, you're sabotaging them, you're sabotaging yourself. And if you have a family, you're sabotaging your family. And I'm not saying like get a divorce, but have the uncomfortable conversation. So that way, in the event that became, you know, the necessary remedy, you know, if that, like, especially if you have kids, you know, like if you have a broken relationship and you're not willing to fix it, spare the kids that drama, because they feel that, you know, they remember and they see the tension, and then your behavior impacts and influences how they choose their partners. And it's not even a romantic thing, it's a platonic thing as well. You know, if we don't realize, and I think even more so for me being someone that has such a heavy hand in raising my nieces and my nephews and my niece, I'm realizing that, like, I always have to be aware of what I say, what I do, because they emulate my behavior, you know, and it's a domino effect. So I think that it's bigger than being infatuated. I think social and economic it's temporary, and to me, in terms of a relationship, it's irrelevant. But I agree and I acknowledge that it is a very much alive and existing statistic.
When I talk about hypergamy, I'm not saying in a way I'm trying to come at you guys women.
No, 100.
I'm just for me, it's a reality. This, you know, that's how women are. You know, women cares about what a man brings to the table. Because if I ask every woman today if she would marry a bum, I guarantee you 99.9% of women would say no. Like he has to have something going on with his life in order for you to be sexually attracted to him, to give him a chance.
Would you marry a bum?
Hell yeah. If she was loyal, she was pretty, and she was caring, and she was willing to stay home and take care of my kids.
Hold on, wait. If she was loyal and if she was pretty?
Yeah. You have to understand that, like for men, we don't care about what a woman brings to the table when it comes to social and economic status. We don't care about a woman's socioeconomic status. We just care about her sexuality, of the feminine energy she can provide to me, the love, the kindness, and the care, the loyalty. So when I meet a woman, whether she works at McDonald's, whether she's a millionaire, it doesn't matter to me. Whether she's a high social status, low social status, doesn't matter. I'm just looking, if I find her beautiful enough for me, if I find her attractive enough for me, and we can vibe and we can connect in an emotional level, and I can get that intimacy, that's all I care about. But for you guys, a man has to have some kind of economic status at the same level or higher for you to even look his way. Because if the guy is a bum, you guys won't look at it. But for me,
do you feel that way?
I don't care what she's doing. I just look at her and
Can I add something to what you said, Will?
And I will give her a chance. And that's the difference between men and women. So, and the reason why I brought that up for Lote to when it comes to hypergamy, because I do tell a lot of women is, I have no problem with you guys going out there while working towards your goals and what you guys are trying to do. But just understand that the more you increase your economic or social status, that means you're only going to be looking for men that's in the same level as you. And those men that out of matches your socioeconomic status as you go higher in society, there's only a small percentage of that men. But for the average guy that's below you guys, there's plenty of them. There's plenty of them. But a lot of women, like you said, you guys don't want to date with those guys because you want a guy to match your level or grow. So I'm just saying that one of the things a lot of women don't understand is when you climb the ladder of life of socioeconomic status, just understand you're going to eliminate a lot of men because you're not willing to look their way because they don't match your level. But for men, it's opposite. I don't care about a woman's level, as long as she gives me that love and she gives me that feminine energy. Because for men, like that's our nature is we provide and protect. That's what we bring to the table. Is we bring the resources, we bring the protection, the provision. So it's natural for us that's what we want to bring in. We don't look for that in our partner. And a lot of women don't think that that's what men are looking for, because if you bring something to the table, so I don't know, you guys see a lot of women, they're successful, they got money, they got careers, they got businesses, but they wonder why, like, how come these men are not attracted to us? Because that's not what men are looking for. We already bring that to the table. We're just looking for a woman's access to their sexuality. That's what we're attracted to.
So I have a question. So, okay, so I mean, sorry, Soli. Look, see, so I told y'all I talk too much. This is what happened. Soli, I promise. After
I was just going to expand on what Will said.
No, so I guess I'm just so I hear you, and I feel like, okay, so like I said, okay, so you find a girl and she's pretty, she's loyal, she'll take care of your kids, whatever. Let's say one day she tells you, hey, I was thinking about going to school, or I was thinking I want to work and I want to get a job. What is your response to that? Are you going to support her endeavor, or are you going to tell her to sit pretty, stay home, be loyal, and watch your kids?
No, I'll support her, but before we even get to that point, I'm gonna let her know I'm gonna be the main provider. So I'm not taking care of the kids at home. That's gonna be off rip.
Wait a minute. Well, you're not gonna take care of your kids?
No, I'm not staying home to take care of it. I'm going to work.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it.
So I'm gonna be.
You're about to jump on them like, hiya!
I was about to hang up.
So I'm gonna provide. So I'll be I'm the main provider. She wants to work at home. This is at home. I'm all for it, but I'm not. But as long as she can take care of the kids. But I'm not doing it because I'm already busy at work. I'm not gonna stay home and take care of the kids. So before we even get to the marriage part, that role needs to be understood between me and her. If she wants to start a business at home and she wants to do things, or as the kids get older and then we don't have to stay at home as much, and she wants to go and start a business, and all my kids are older now, they can take care of themselves. Well, that's fine. But as far as the responsibility of raising the kids, I'm not gonna do that. I prefer her to take care of that. I'd rather be the one to go to work and bring the bread home. But yeah, that's my response to that.
Okay, Soli, I'm gonna
I want to hear what Soli has to say.
Oh no, I was just gonna add on to what Will was saying earlier, because like men, at least from what I've observed in my short time on Earth so far, the value of a man is based off of what he could provide, what he could produce. And like, yeah, look, you might have said the guys you've been with weren't at the same status as you, but you had already said before too that they had to be working towards getting up to you and then grow with you. And then when they didn't produce, then they were gone.
That's hypergamy.
See, but that's not entirely based on like social or economic, like status or rank. That's like not like, okay.
Just unmotivated.
But that's why. But like I said, when you say growth, like, but there has to be, when you're growing, there has to be tangible results that has to be produced. Right.
And so when a man can't show results,
there has to be results.
then all of a sudden,
Because I can say I can
they're
say,
not as attractive.
I can come to you, Lote, and say, hey, I want to grow with you, Lote, marry me. All right. But if I don't show results of my life improving, which always relates to economic, always has to come down to economics. Because
See, but
that's how we judge people if they're growing, if their life is improving. And if your life is improving, it always comes down to money.
Not necessarily though, because improvement isn't solely just monetary. Improvement isn't solely economic or social status. I mean, it's like she said, like when you're unmotivated, like if my boyfriend is not moving from the couch for 3 days, something is wrong.
So
and I'm not talking.
So are you looking for him to work towards?
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So you want him to go work towards something, right?
I want him to be driven, but I'm not saying I'm not concerned about his bankroll. It's yes. Have goals in life so you're not sitting stagnant, because okay, for example, so you talked about how you guys want to be the providers. Do I agree that a man should do that? Yes, because I'm a woman where I feel like that safety and security in a man, I need that. However, if he's not doing nothing and that he's not protecting and providing, so I feel like it's okay for me to say something like, and I'm not saying like cut ties, but like if it's not improved, or if like they're not, whatever, if it's a mental, emotional, because it's not just about a bankroll. Like it's not just about them going like, okay, if they're calling in sick for 4 days in a row without an explanation and he's not sick, something's wrong. So like let's have. If he's improving, it doesn't relate to money. So Soli, I'm gonna use an example. So he wants to be a musician like Soli. So he's, you know what, I'm gonna be a musician, I'm gonna make music. He's not making no money. He's not bringing nothing to the table. But hey, he's improving. His music is getting better. He's making songs. He's getting better with his skill as far as a musician, but he's bringing no money to the table. He's chasing his aspiration. Hell yeah. 500% I'm down for that. Okay. If I have a man that is on his weight loss journey and I notice that he's a week of not working out, or he's not eating right, or he's at McDonald's every day I find him, baby, what's up?
So like if the guy, so if the guy's just working out, just improving him physically, but he's not working, but he's not making no money to help out the family, you cool with that? But he's getting better with his health though.
Well, it's like you said, if he's not working, but he's gonna stay home and be loyal to me, be cute, and watch my kids, 500%, we okay with that. I will bring home the money. If I got the job and I can hold that down, I'm fine. Watch my kids, be loyal to me, tell me I'm beautiful. We good.
So both of you guys will date a guy that doesn't have to make money.
I have dated men who do not work.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they did work, but they didn't make a lot of money.
No, I'm telling you.
So they didn't work at all?
Unemployed, completely. Unemployed? No judgment. I didn't care. He told me I was pretty. It was good. All right.
but what I'm saying is, you were with that guy and it didn't work out. You said that's what you don't care about that, but that guy that you were with that didn't have a job, it didn't work out.
But ask me why it didn't work out. It wasn't because he didn't have a job. It was because he took advantage of the fact that he was with a girl that didn't trip off of him not having a job. That's what happened. But he got comfortable.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You guys said that you guys want a guy that don't care about a guy that makes no money, but at the same time you still require him to grow.
Yeah, go to church. If you don't have a job, clean your house. If you don't have a job, go on a hike. If you don't have a job, do the things that I can't do because I have a job. Period. Okay, so as long as he's staying home and doing everything else, but you don't care, you be the main provider. Well, it's a partnership. At the end of the day, partnership, to me personally, gender roles are neutralized when you're in a partnership, because what happens is where one lacks, the other compensates for. And that's, to me, that's how that works. And that is what I envision as a cohesive, well-oiled machine, where whether it's the man working or the woman working, if one is down and out, I'm not going to shade him because he doesn't have a job. I mean, construction workers, for example, there's a season where they don't work. I'm not going to leave him high and dry because he's out for 6 months. No, right. But what I'm saying is that if they're not working because there's rain or what, I'm not going to throw them out or ruin the relationship. Like, if they are my best friend and if they keep I'm a hopeless romantic, right? I thoroughly believe in the ability to keep the honeymoon phase alive, because you never stop dating each other. That is what, to me, where I feel like these generations, we fail, right? Because everyone gets comfortable and everyone gets settled. We've been together for 7 years. It is what it is. That's not how that works.
Okay.
You can be together 50 years. If the both of y'all can get together and go to dinner twice a week. I mean, and it's even like how, like even like my parents, for example, we're all older, right? So like I encourage my parents, go on dates, date each other, learn what that's like, because they've spent the last 30 plus years raising kids. So you'd have my dad, who's the provider, my mom, and, who took care of us kids. And, there's not a lot of relationship time, amidst raising 4 kids, there's one got to be one place, the other one got to be the other place. And then they don't have their own time, to spend time together. So that I always like tell my parents now, I'm like, they go camping and stuff. I love that, because that's them rekindling and reestablishing their commitment and love for each other. Not that it ever went away, but just to remember what it's like for it to be just the two of them. That's like important to me.
So if a guy approached you, was like, hey, I'm attracted to you. I don't have a job right now. I want to depend on you. That's his opening line when he comes to approach you. Are you okay with that? You're gonna take him? You're gonna date?
That's awful. No, because I want to know who you are before you tell me I want to depend on you. Like, establish the trust. So for me, what I feel like where hypergamy becomes an issue is because there is a lack of communication between the two people. So it's if the expectations and the standards, because I feel like everyone. Hold on, sorry, my dad's at the door.
No. So Lote, so for you, like you said, like you just you don't, the guy doesn't have to make no money. That's what you said.
I don't really care about the money aspect because I work. I just want, as long as I know that even if they're not working, that they're working towards like becoming a better person or working towards a goal that they ultimately, like where what their final goal is, like to be able to financially provide for everyone, like and add me too, we're good. Like I don't really care about money right now. Cause like I feel
the only reason why I was asking.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. No, the only reason why I think I had asked those questions before, and I think it's interesting you guys are saying what you're saying, is because when Will used me as an example, I couldn't help but laugh because I've heard multiple, like my past relationships, I've heard multiple girls in our beginning phases like, oh, I believe in you, I'll support you.
Yep.
But like in reality, it took me 10 years of me doing music, doing shows for free, having to go into recording studios, getting burned on contracts, never seeing a penny off of music. And then each one ended the same thing, the same way. It was like, oh, well, maybe you should give up on this and get a real job. I never like depended on any of their money or anything that they brought. But that's just how it ended up. I couldn't bring in enough to be able to get enough of what they wanted, what they really wanted. Which I still don't know what they really wanted, but that's why I just thought your answers were funny to me, because I've heard that so many times from multiple people before.
Yeah, because I mean that's what women would. The thing is, that's what women would say, right? I don't care. I just want a guy. But the thing is, you guys are always attracted to a guy that's gonna take care of you. If a lot of women were honest, if you guys had a selection of who you guys would pick, if you guys had a chance to pick your dream guy would be the guy that can take care of you, financially, and then of course he's loyal and he's emotional, but he's gonna take care of you financially. Because at the end of the day, like that's what women want, and then women would say that, but then over time, eventually they're gonna come to the guy and be like, hey, like when are you gonna start helping out? Because if you guys get pregnant, you're the sole provider, who's used to, and he's not working, are you guys cool with that?
Well, there's
I'm
resources.
not gonna get
and
pregnant
stuff.
by him.
Yeah,
Go
because
ahead.
he's gonna be gone already. He's gonna be left.
See, I mean, okay, so I mean, I hear what the both of you are saying. However, and I think, Will, that with the things that you're saying, again, I hear it and I validate it, but they don't pertain to who I am and like my beliefs and how I carry myself. Just
That's fine.
because,
But yeah,
That's fine.
just because
we're
you
not
know,
saying that anything pertains to you guys
No,
specifically. I
but
think it's safe to say that we all agree on these.
no one. I also feel like that. I do agree that there are women out there like that, and again, I don't want to say, oh, like I'm not. Like I said, I hear y'all and I feel that, but I think that for me personally, like when Will, you say, oh, that women, they look for someone who at the end of the day can financially take care of you. That's not how I was raised. Like my mom raised me to be self-sufficient. And if ever it was that you were basing your attraction or desire to be in a relationship with someone based on monetary value or their financial stability, like that's not realistic, because again, that can change. And so for me personally, like I don't look for, when you talk about someone that can provide, when you talk about someone that can take care of me, I need someone that's going to know when I'm having a bad day without me having to say I'm having a bad day. I need someone to know what kind of candy, ice cream, when my birthday is. Like, I don't care. I'm not someone who's like, oh, you missed anniversary. I don't care about that. But remember my birthday. Remember the things that matter to me. Like, that's the kind of woman that I am. And for me, like, that's another reason why earlier when we're talking about how I always feel like, I'm always open to utilizing a platform when I'm given access to one, because it's not normalized that that women like me and her still exist, where it's like we're not looking for financial stability. I'm not gonna pick someone. I'm not gonna walk up to someone and be like, I need you. I want to depend on you. Let me see you might as well ask someone to bring their pay stub to the first date. Like, that's not realistic. You feel me?
So
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I already forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
No, so Natasha, let me ask you. So I'll give you a scenario. So there's two guys, right? There's two guys, and everything's the same. Everything's equal. So the love, the emotion, intimacy, the kindness, everything is equal with these two men, right? One guy works at McDonald's, making say $20,000 a year, and one guy is a doctor making $500,000 a year. But everything's equal. Everything's equal. They both love you the same way. They're both emotional. They're kind. They check up on you. Everything you just said, all the stuff that you want, it's both equal in them. Which one do you go with?
So I feel like the standard answer should be like, oh, I'm gonna go with Mr. McDonald's.
Be honest. Like,
no,
I am. Be honest.
That's what I was getting into. It doesn't matter to me. Like, honestly, for me, I'm not. If you have a job, then we're good.
No, like, let me ask you.
But which one would you choose?
Which one would you choose?
It wouldn't matter to me.
Which is the handsome one?
Everything's equal. Everything is equal.
Fact.
I said everything is equal.
Everything's equal. You just gotta choose one or the other.
Choose one.
I would choose the handsome one, honestly.
They both, everything's equal.
That's equal.
Everything's equal.
They're twins. They're twins, and one's broke.
The only difference is one is making $20,000 a year, has no ambitions for his life. One's a doctor and making $500,000 a year, and he has ambitions for his life. That's the only difference.
I think if you're a manager,
I'll go with the ambition one.
But let me say, pick which one would you honestly, like you say, be honest. If you want to keep it real.
No, 100%. Well, okay,
so
that's fine. So like Lote said, I would pick the one with ambition. Because you can have ambition and work at McDonald's and be a manager. He could have started out as the fry guy and worked his way up the chain. Like, I celebrate that. Everything for me, everything is about I mean, for example, my dad, like, he came from Samoa and he came here to, to the States to go to school. He started at PG&E just as like a yard guy. My dad is now a foreman. My dad is a big dog in PG&E. You feel me? So for me, I'm very much a person of like, I'm genuinely not, but if you're gonna tell me that Mr. McDonald's don't have no ambition, but then the doctor does, then I need the ambition, because for me, that's what's gonna keep me motivated. If he's ambitious, I'm gonna be inspired by that, and I'm gonna want to be ambitious too.
So ambition always translates to economic status.
Not necessarily.
It does. I mean,
because if you're not ambitious, you're just at home sitting and not doing anything, not even working.
People who are successful are all ambitious. That's a trait. You can look at personality traits and dictate people's behaviors of what they're going to do with their life. People who are not who are lazy don't have ambition. People
But
who are successful have ambition.
success doesn't necessarily also have anything to do with the bankroll. I mean, Soli's ambitious. He chases his hustle every day. I'm ambitious. I'm not making hella money, you know, but like my ambition is prevalent.
I know, but what I'm saying is, depending on the woman, it depends on her level of what kind of money that she wants. So for a girl that wants a millionaire, she probably won't be attracted to Soli. But for a girl that is in the same level as Soli, economic and social status, she'll be attracted to him. So what I'm saying is, like, you guys just said, like, a lot of women would say, oh, I don't care about the guy's money. But then given with the option of two guys, you guys will always naturally pick the guy. If two guys approached you, everything equal, and you have to choose which one you want, you would choose the guy that is actually doing better financially. And I'm not saying that in a way to put you guys down. That's just how women are. And a lot of men hear that, like Soli said, a lot of men hear that from a lot of women. Hey, I love you. I'll be with you. Don't worry. I don't care where you're at right now. You can grow with me. And then they'll leave.
But why wouldn't you want the same for yourself as a man?
Because
why wouldn't you want a woman who's ambitious?
We are different. We don't see relationships and what we're attracted to is different. For men, we don't care about what a woman does or what she provides, because that's what we do. That's what we bring to the relationship.
So if she's not pretty and she's loyal and watches your kids, what's that do?
As long as she's pretty to me and I have sexual access to her sexuality, then, like I said, for guys, we don't care about what she brings to the table, because that's what we do. That's in our nature.
But I don't think that's a general. I don't think that all men are like that.
Yeah, true. It's not. There's always the exception to the rule.
No, there's always the exception.
Yeah,
it's always exception. But we're talking about like majority. A majority, if most guys are gonna meet, they don't care. But like I said, they're always gonna be attracted to a woman's. Because like I said, Soli, let me give you a perfect example. Soli, you have two women, everything's equal. One makes 10,000, one makes 500,000. Does it matter for you?
No, it's whoever one says yes to me.
I'm not mad at that though.
See the difference. See, we don't care about what you guys bring to the table. And a lot of women don't understand that. You guys, look, why don't you guys want the same thing I want? Because I want a guy that is ambitious. I want a guy that's confident. I want a guy to bring to the table. Yeah, that's what women want. But men, we're different. We don't. That's not what we look for. What we look for is access to your sexuality and just your feminine energy. So that's why you see a lot of these women, very successful women, they're like, oh man, I'm accomplished, I got a degree, I'm doing all this for my life. How come I'm not attracting the man? Because what you're bringing to the table are things that men are not looking for. And then,
I guess I'm gonna wait till Jesus comes. I'm gonna go single, because I'm not gonna be apologetic, because the other thing too.
No, you don't have to be apologetic. It's just understanding the reality is the type of men that you guys are looking for. It's not the average guy. So it's a small percentage.
But the thing is, though, is you're basing that on economic and social status. What I'm saying is the kind of guy that I need: a loyal, compassionate, emotional, available man. That is who is rare to me. I have been unsuccessful in finding a man, monetary value aside, that can meet me halfway, is what I'm saying.
But the thing is,
really quick, Will, my bad.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like how I mentioned before, those previous relationships where they told me all those same things. Literally the same thing as well, but you just told me too. But like at the end of the day, it was like I was trying to hang on for 2 years. I've been struggling for 10 years. It was just recently, and yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, like, that's why a lot of women say, like, you want a guy that's emotional, you want a guy that's kind, or you want a guy that's very communicative. There's so many. That's a lot of guys out there that have that. So with the problem,
there's not though. I mean, and I say this from a space of, for example, my dad, because they say that girls, they are attracted to men that are like their fathers. My dad is a man of very little words. Is he loving and compassionate? And yes. Does he take care of my mom and our family? Yes, for sure. But the communication is, like, for example, my dad growing up, he didn't really tell us, like, I love you. And that was because that's how he was raised, right?
Yeah.
So my dad has learned, and it is everything to me personally. But it's like one of those things where it's like, men in our culture, they're not as expressive. They're not as available. Or if a conversation wants to be had, and I say this from experience, I have been just brushed off, like, and because I'm not someone where, and I have learned this, that if I have an issue, that I'm not going to project and act upset and have an attitude, because I can't do that if I'm not explaining why I'm acting the way I'm acting, right? I used to not.
I actually remember why I opened my mouth earlier.
No, everyone.
Like when you were saying that you like that person that's like going to be loyal, going to be there, and all that stuff. Like as a musician, there's always that stereotype. Yeah, you're out every night at the show. You're going to go party with girls.
Right.
But every show I've been to, I would wear a fake ring on my finger, so everybody thought I was married, and nobody would talk to me. I would just go back into the truck and just wait till everyone's ready to go. But it never worked out like that. I was like, I was loyal to you. Everything you said you wanted me to do, I was that. The only thing
I'm sorry that
you
you dealt with a really stupid girl. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's not girl. It's multiple girls. Over 10. There was a lot of them.